Hey y'all, welcome back. So today I thought I would sit y'all down and tell y'all about my huge family. So, just a disclaimer, I'm gonna try to keep everyone's names out of it just for respect out of them for their privacy. Also, if you hear something in the background, I'm frying some sausage, so I'm gonna have to walk with y'all over there in a minute to flip it. But anyways, um, so just a smidge bit of a backstory. My dad and my mother met in high school. I think she was like 3 years younger than him. And then when my dad turned like 22 or 23, I think he was like 23, they got pregnant with me, they had me. She ended up leaving and going on about her way, and my dad ended up getting custody of me when I was 5. I think I was 5, almost 6. But anyways, with all that being said, they never got married and they never had any other children together besides just me. So for a long time, it was just me and my dad, and I was basically the only child. Besides, I had a first cousin who was like 2 years older than me, and we were like sisters. But besides that, as far as biological kids, my mom ended up, when she went about her way, when I was 4, she had my little sister, which I will name her. Her name's Gianna. They had her. Well, my mom had gotten married, had her. They got a divorce, and then her dad got custody of her. And then I'll continue with my mom's side, but it's really confusing because the time frame is the same time during my dad, like when I get back to that side. But just to stick with my mom for right now, so she got married when I was 4, had Gianna when I was 4, so we're 4 years apart. So that's when I became a big sister, and then they got a divorce, and then she ended up getting married when I was like, I don't want to lie to you, I'm guessing like 9, somewhere in there, somewhere around that age. And she got married, they had a little girl. Then a couple years later, they had a little boy. I do not know their names. And then, like probably 3 or 4 years later, she ended up, maybe 5 years later, she ended up having another little boy. I just heard those through the grapevine. I don't know their names, but so I have 3 siblings. They actually live in New York, and I'm from Mississippi. But so I have 3 siblings that I've never met. One girl and then 2 boys. But that's the end of her side. So back to my dad's side. Since he had custody of me, my mom was very much allowed to contact me. It was just by her choice. So that's why I kind of like set her off to the side. So when I was 8, my dad met his first wife. They ended up getting married. I think I was, don't let me lie to you, I was like 10 or 11. I don't know, somewhere in there they ended up getting married. Well, she already had a little girl. So I became another big sister. Okay, pause, we have to go flip this sausage. So when I became her big sister, a couple of years later, after they had gotten married, they ended up having a child together. So he had me, and she already had a daughter, and then they have one together. So when they had her, my dad ended up adopting her kid, which was my stepsister. which we don't call each other that. She's my sister. But at that moment in time, she was my stepsister legally. And then my dad legally adopted her. And so she has our last name. I'm going to step away so you can hear me. So she has our last name. So if anyone was looking at us or read her name, they would never know. We've actually been told, really my whole life, I've been told, oh, your little sister looks just like you. It's just, I don't know, that's funny. But I claim it like, yeah, she does, doesn't she? So now on my dad's side, I am up to 2 sisters. One step that was adopted, and then a half sister. Well, a few years later, when my half sister was born, like 3 years later, I think she was like 3 or 3.5, they ended up getting a divorce. So they divorced, and then my dad ended up getting married a second time. And she already had a little girl, so another girl. So I gained a stepsister. And then when and my stepsister that I just gained and my half sister are only a year apart. And then the one that was adopted, she is 7 years younger than me. So these two are 12 and 11 years younger than me. And then I was in my first year of college, and my stepmother, someone in her family, had a baby and was unable to take care of it, and it was a girl. And we all, as a family, decided to adopt that little girl. So now I have another sister. But here's the kicker. They had a baby. Like I said, baby. So when I say baby, I'm talking, we got her at 2 months old. And I was 20 years old at the time. So this year she'll actually be 3. But with all that being said, not to name names, and I'm trying to keep it, that's why I'm pausing. I have to really think, make sure I don't say any names. With that being said, so on my dad's side, there's 1 girl, then there's 2 girls, then there's 3 girls, then there's 4 girls, and then there's me, and I'm the oldest. So the age range is 22. I'll be 22 this month. I don't know why I said 23. So 22 all the way to 3 years old. Yes, very big age gap between all of us, but we're a huge blended family. So we literally have every single type of relation that you could have, like sibling-wise. We've got stepsisters and half-sisters and adopted siblings all in one household. But it's great. It's wonderful. It's chaotic and crazy, but it's a good kind of chaotic and crazy, always loud, and something's always happening. But it's fun. But yeah, came from now, when I tell people, like, oh yeah, do you have any brothers or sisters? I just say, yeah, I have 5, because Gianna, the one I named for my mom, is in my life. And we're so close, and then the other 4. So I just tell people I have 5 sisters, and then in their head, they think, your poor dad, he had 6 girls. But technically, he's only got 4 in the house, because I moved out. But if you want to count my stepmom, he still has 5 women in the house. But yeah, that's my whole family story. Very big and very blended, and all girls, all of us, all the time. Very, very much a female household. And my dad, when he was married with his first wife, and there was my that's adopted sister, and my half sister, I actually can't remember if my half sister was born or if she was about to be born, but we got a dog, and she's a girl too. So, however old my half sister is how old my dog is. So my half sister is, let's see, oh my gosh, everyone's getting so old. I want to think of them as like being 4 and 5, but they're not. They're all getting older as I get older. Her birthday was in March, and she just turned 10, right? 10? Yeah. She just turned 10. So the dog is 10 years old now. What is that in dog years? I have no clue. But yeah. And well, the dog's name is Daisy. I can tell y'all that. She's a chocolate lab. She's the family dog. She's super old, as you can tell. But I guess that's my whole big family story, the end of that. It's pretty great to have siblings. Pretty great and stressful to be the oldest, like growing up with them in the household. Being I don't live there anymore, not so much, but growing up with them, sorry, my alarm went off. Growing up with them in the household, and you have sisters, so they're trying to, wear your clothes or take your jewelry or come in your room or whatever it was, and I'd be like, get out, leave me alone. But, anyways, I don't even know why I said that, but, so I've got all sisters, and that's it, a bunch of them. Got a really big family, but I hope y'all enjoyed this little snippet. I think I keep repeating myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. But if y'all have any questions, or maybe I should do another video kind of related to this or something, comment, I don't know. But anyways, I'll see y'all later.